When you look back on a year ago, did you dream that we would be talking about the possibility of you winning the Oscar for Best Picture?
지금 1월 25일인데 정확히 작년 요맘때 내가 음악감독 작업실에서 음악 가지고 지지고 볶고 있었는데요. 완성만 잘 했으면 좋겠다 그 생각뿐이 없었죠. 이제 뭐 미국에서 이 벌어진 모든 일에 대해서 아마 전혀 생각을 못했었죠.
So last January 25th, I was in the midst of music editing with my music composer. We were right in the middle of it. I had no idea that this would be happening in the States right now. All I was focusing on was just finishing the film.
Dreams will come true. We'll find out in 2 weeks.
네, 뭐 2주 후가 문제가 아니라 뭐 오스카도 그렇고 오늘 DGA도 그렇고 마티나 뭐 퀸틴 같은 정말 존경해왔던 감독들과 같이 노미네이션 된 것 자체가 되게 기뻐요. 이미 되게 만족스러워요.
So what will happen in 2 weeks is for me not that important. Just being nominated with Quentin Martin and all these directors that I admire today, and for the Oscars, that in itself is a huge honor. I feel like I've won all the awards already.
Finally, an HBO series, is that going to happen?
예, 얘기 잘 지금 아담 맥케이랑 잘 얘기 진행 중이고 아주 더 영화를 보신 분들도 깜짝 놀랄 수 있는 더 깊고 넓은 얘기를 더 만들려고 하고 있어요.
So the conversations with Adam McKay are going great. We're trying to create a series that is deeper and even broader, that even audiences who've seen the film can enjoy.
Performances you want to use, even where the scenes stay or get cut. And here I had to make all those decisions on the day. So for me, it was a really particular. You know, it has been recognised that there is diversity across the casting as well. You know, there are characters in the movie that reflect not only the diverse landscape of the soldiers that fought in this war, but the diversity of the culture that made it. You know, I pushed it towards what fundamentally is historical inaccuracy in order to reflect the diversity of the culture that has made the movie. There are black soldiers throughout, there are Sikh soldiers, there are Indian soldiers, there are soldiers of color. So, you know, if my read of it is if you make a movie with the best modern technology and you're using modern cameras and modern, you know, immersive techniques, IMAX, surround sound, then you also have to use you have to use the actors that the modern culture give you. So actually, I feel very strongly, coming from the theatre where what's known as colorblind casting is much more of a thing. It's much more used, you know, we're much more used to it. I felt very strongly that I wanted to do that, and if you look carefully at the movie, it's there, and it's also there behind the camera. You know, and I think there are some years, as I was just saying, that are good. I was at the Oscars the year that Halle Berry won Best Actress, Denzel Washington won Best Actor, and Sidney Poitier got the Lifetime Achievement Award, and everyone thought we've made it. You know, this is finally what it should be like. And then there are years when suddenly that's not happening, and you know, is there rhyme or reason to it? I don't know, but I'm not necessarily the best person to ask. I'm not in the best position to be able to judge those things, you know.
I was offered things every time I made a film here in Hollywood, but I always decided to go back home to make my films and really to make them for New Zealanders and to make them for my friends and for people who I knew got me and wanted to see my stories. And so, you know, my entire career I owe to New Zealand audiences because they were the first people who latched on and got my stuff. And also, and because of them, other people started to do it, but they've been my biggest supporters.
Talk to us about diversity filmmakers. There was a record number of New Zealand female directors at the Berlinale last year. Diversity doesn't seem to be such an issue in your country.
It's getting a little better in New Zealand. It's look, I think it's still an issue. I think it's still something that needs to be addressed. Sometimes we feel like we're making steps forward, and then other times we feel like we're going backwards a bit. And I don't think any country really is exempt from that. Like New Zealand has got its own issues as well, and I know very many filmmakers in New Zealand who have been who have found it very hard, and it's taken them sometimes 10 years to make a film. So it's not, you know, it's not that it's easier down there. I guess maybe the diversity thing doesn't seem like an issue because there aren't many people, and you know, there's probably it's probably a little easier, I guess, to say yes.
I do appreciate it.